Hi, I'm David Dodge. Welcome to Green Energy Futures. The winner of the Energy Innovation Challenge being hosted by Decentralized Energy Canada and the City of Medicine Hat have been announced. The winners provide a mix of software and hardware solutions that can help make much better use of existing grid infrastructure and integrate all of the solar, wind, batteries, and heat pumps into a more affordable, reliable, and resilient electricity grid. And both will receive up to 50% of project costs to pilot their solutions in Medicine Hat's electricity grid.
The Energy Innovation Challenge is focused on finding solutions for grid and energy providers such as ourselves to make sure that we can transition through time and meet accelerated electrification requirements in a decarbonized way.
That was Rochelle Pancoast of the City of Medicine Hat. Grayson Mock is Director of Utility Distribution, and he says they want to optimize the use of the city's electrical grid and save money on upgrades. They also see other benefits in these solutions.
So relieving grid congestion, both at a premise scale and a distribution scale, brings in room for distributed energy resources. And it really helps optimize or enable energy transition coming onto the grid while minimizing capital investments required to enable that.
DEC and Medicine Hat just announced the two winners of the Energy Innovation Challenge.
So we have our two project partners. The first one is Edcom. And what Edcom will be doing is on a premise scale, they will be using sensors and AI-enabled technologies that will help us reduce our energy intensity in public buildings in Medicine Hat. The second one is Arcus, and Arcus will be looking at opportunities to optimize the placement of DERs on a distribution grid scale so that we can place them in the most optimal locations to maximize the benefit.
At this stage of preparing for energy transition, Medicine Hat is interested in determining what energy storage can do to make the Medicine Hat grid more efficient. But they're also interested in integrating other decentralized energy resources as well.
So distributed energy resources are a multitude of different devices. So they could be rooftop solar, they could be battery devices, they could be wind or other low carbon intensity devices that are generating energy and putting them onto the distribution grid rather than large scale power generators.
The first winner of the Energy Innovation Challenge is Arcus Power, based in Calgary, Alberta. Dan Earhart is CEO.
What we're going to develop is a distributed energy simulation model for the City of Medicine Hat's electric grid. We're going to identify locations where they can position primarily battery assets in their system that will solve for resiliency, reliability, cost, and sustainability-based objectives in their system. That's the today's state. So we'll give them an optimization software that enables them to run the simulation and determine where these assets should exist. The tomorrow state looks like how do you operate these assets, how they interface with the Alberta electric system and their local grid.
And Arcus has already done work like this on a pioneering solar and energy storage project in Alberta.
It's the first of its kind in North America. It's a vanadium flow battery that's paired with a solar array, and we built the energy arbitrage and optimization model to indicate when it should be charging and discharging the grid to maximize its revenues.
What Medicine Hat learns in their project could lay the groundwork for programs to incentivize the use of these decentralized energy resources to reduce peaks and help the grid. Calgary-based Arcus Energy is not new to energy management.
In the last 3 years in Alberta alone, our customers using our tools have been able to make decisions that have amounted to an estimated $250 million in savings to them and roughly 100,000 tons of CO2 abated as well.
Recent studies have shown that even small amounts of energy storage can save a lot of money on the grid. Baydad Barami is the CEO of Edcom, the other winning company in the challenge.
So what we're proposing to do is a full-scale rollout of really granular energy monitoring across 10 facilities in Medicine Hat. And the reason why we participated in this program is because we believe there's a lot of untapped potential on the smaller commercial facilities when it comes to demand-side management and energy efficiency gains. And we want to prove that out with the city, basically as a case study. We're more and more dependent on electricity, than we've ever been, especially when we get to heat pumps and EVs and all the other stuff as we're electrifying more, right? So I think this will enable Medicine Hat to really optimize the energy that they currently have as they look forward to energy transition, as they look forward to decarbonizing their grid. Having this data will be imperative.
Edcom, like Arcus Energy, is already doing work like this with industry in Alberta.
So in Alberta, we're working with some of the largest energy consumers, and we're giving them real-time data and real-time information to make better decisions that will save them money, but it'll also save the grid. It'll increase the efficiency of the grid.
And that's music to the ears of Grayson Muck.
So this really sets the stage in that it's using the most modern technologies available to us to optimize our grid. And by optimizing our grid, it allows us to invite all these DERs into our system in a sustainable and fiscally responsible manner.
There's nothing but potential for data, digitization, and software to create smart grids.
Yeah, there's a lot of innovation happening. And I think, the residential sector, especially here in Canada, the residential sector is like really far behind. But there's going to be some changes. And at my house, I'm looking at solar. I have my EV, but I'm looking at solar and I'm looking at energy storage. So it's going to make sense. We're not there yet, but it's going to make sense.
Medicine Hat hopes to make more efficient use of its electricity grid, and in time, create an even more resilient, reliable grid with renewable energy, EVs, and energy storage. It's a critical and not often talked about step in the energy transition of our electricity grids. Learn more in our blog at greenenergyfutures.ca. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.